Screwed up the live again, per usual. Oh, well. I gotta know to look over here now, too, because we're going sideways. And I'm looking up there. Oh, jeez. It's really cold in here. Let's see. I just burned my tongue. San Diego. Oh boy. I got the heaters going on in here and it's still cold. I need drywall on the ceiling. All the heat just goes up. There's a bunch of crap up there too from the last owners. We totally should have made them take all that junk with them. If anyone needs a factory bumper for a 2008 Chevy Silverado 2500, hit me up. It's getting there though. Y'all should have seen this place whenever we bought it. There was no lighting in here. They had one bulb in the middle of this place. I don't know how anyone did work in here. It must have been like, I don't even know. It must have been like portable lights everywhere. I have no idea because I don't know how else they would work in here. There's only one door, like open roll-up door. So I guess if you're working in the day, but oh man. I feel bad because someone was waiting on the live stream and I totally screwed it up because I was trying to change it to where it's horizontal. So hopefully that person gets the old notification. I got new saw. All the ones over there. Yeah, wear headlamps all the time. Oh man, I spent a lot of overnight, full night deals with friggin' headlamps on, doing work on cars. Those were some days. Some of them weren't good. But it's always nice because like if we were working at my buddy's house, we'd always end up at Jack in the Box at 3 in the morning or 4, 5, whatever time. They're 24 hours, you know. And we would just like get too many tacos and a meal and we would eat that and watch like Family Guy or something stupid. I don't even know. We watch YouTube videos of like car stuff after we're working on cars all night. Watch the sun come up and all that crap. Yeah, those are something, aren't they? I don't think I would woodwork overnight. I think that would be not good. Anytime there's cutty power tools involved. Like, working on a car is dangerous, I guess, because it could fall on you if you're underneath it with jack stands or something. Or, like, you could bust a knuckle or something, but, like, you're not... I guess you could lose a finger, but, like, you're not, like, actively playing with something... Well, you're not actively using something that could take your finger very easily just by a little, you know, one of these guys, so... Oh, man. There's super chats if y'all want to, you know, give a little bit of that cheddar, you know? You don't have to, but yeah, it's there. Tuesdays, so yeah. There's those moments where you're working on a project and you screw up a cut and you're like, oh man. And then you're like, oh, I'll just do it again. And then you do it again and it's worse. And then you're like, okay, I need to go inside and take a break or come back to this later, or maybe I'll just sweep the shop for a minute or something, or throw something and leave. But it usually doesn't get better after that, because you're already cooked. You're already like at a point where you're just like frustrated, tired, all that stuff. It's just a pain. So, oh. Did y'all see the Find a Joint Friday? It's a slotted dovetail. It looks better in the photos and on the video than it does in person. Still not bad. Like, I would use this on the bottom side. Hey! Oh, Michael, man! Glad you can make it. Oh no, it went away. I gotta see it again. There we go. Oh no! Dang, how do I get the... Bear with me. There we go. Okay. Talk about those new chisels you got. Yeah, the added shoulder is a neat touch on the bottom side. It makes it look clean, you know? So, better than seeing like, you know, a partial cutout or whatever where that dovetail is. Where the little cuts? Where the chisel? Oh, we're back. All right, Al. Chisels. Look at this box. Anything that comes in a black box, like, you know she fancy, right? They even have like foam on the bottom side of the lid to like keep them in place. It's pretty nice. Here we are. Chiseled up. So these are Zenwu X1, I think, is a chisel. Hang on, it's on here. Y1. So Y1 chisel set, 5 Imperial. All right, I guess they make a metric one too. I guess that's why there's that clarification in there. But 1 inch, ½ inch, yeah. ½ inch, quarter, no, 3/8, quarter, and eighth, I think. Something like that. The impressive one is the 1/8. Let's see, is it gonna focus? There it is. Look at that. That is just so shiny. And it's so small, right? But like, it is super sharp. So they were kind enough to work with us on these, and appreciate you guys checking them out. If y'all get one, definitely tell them that you got it from Seeing Us, or found out about them from Seeing Us. They have them on Cat's Moses Tools, as well as their own page. But I mean, the fit and finish on these is just way better than what you're gonna see from anyone else at $300, in my opinion. So, and they're super sharp, and they stay super sharp. So, nice and shiny. Let's compare. Granted, she's a little rusty right now. It got left in a box. But this is the Harbor Freight chisel versus the Zenwu. Definitely a difference. Even, I'm gonna grab one that's not rusty. It just looks bad. That was my fault, by the way. And we got something else to talk about back here. Let's talk about that in a minute. Okay. Chisel. This is 1.25 inch chisel. I will say, like, for $10, these are excellent for just beating the crap out of something and never caring, but you're going to be sharpening this a whole lot more than these. Like this guy, like that mirror finish, that's pretty sweet and super sharp. Paper. Let's see if it'll do anything else. This paper's kind of limp. Yep. This paper's been in here and it's like kind of damp. Don't you embarrass me now. Not on live TV. Now whatever. It's sharp. Anyways, pretty awesome. Check them out. Buy a set. Don't buy a set. I would recommend buying a set though. It would just be easier on you in the long run. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Added shoulder. Yeah, they are pretty beautiful. The miter saw planer project. What planer project? You mean like the planer? That guy? That guy's doing good. I had to wax the bed. It's the biggest thing. And I adjusted, there's like little feed rollers on the bottom. And those feed rollers, I have it now to where they're like, just like with a little pressure, they're like hitting the wood as it goes through to kind of help it feed. I think I didn't have them high enough before. And so they were like, I don't know. It just needed to be waxed more. Yeah. So the rebuilding, so that's this one. So that 15-inch guy right there. It's all done. It has a 220 volt plug on it. I redid this electrical box deal here. And other than that, I actually changed the oil. So there's like a gearbox on there that has like a gear oil in it. So I changed out the oil in that. That was a terrible decision to do that because it's, I don't think anyone that designs a tool actually uses a tool, because the fill for it is like right here, like behind this, and you can't get to it from the top. So like you can't fill the oil. I had to use a syringe to fill it, so it's pretty stupid. Miter saw. I changed miter saws today. And what brand did I go with? It's a Hercules. I went with a Hercules. I think this is the ticket. Unless you're willing to spend like $1,000 on, like, what is it? I think it's like $1,500 or more for like a festival. I think you either get this or that, because I mean, it does everything you need it to. It has like dual bevel. It has like all the angles that you'll need. It's got the shadow line deal, so like it has a little light up here that will actually like cast a shadow where your actual blade is on the table. I picked it up today because today was last day of Black Friday at Harbor Freight, and so I got it for $300. You're not like, even if I think there's a DeWalt that's very similar to this and like very much almost a copy of, like this is a copy of that almost, and I think that thing's like $700. So this is half the price. Like, you should totally do that. I'm gonna play with it. I had to add some width to my miter station. I just added some 2x4s to the side on both sides, and then I tied them together with some bracing so that both of my workbenches are tied to this now. And I needed to do that for the other saw too. I just didn't. I just wasn't going past like the degree that it went past 45. So I was like, this is fine. I need to do work. So I just worked with it. But now I have it set to where it'll go the full 60 degrees if this goes to the right. And the other one's over there. It doesn't cut like the straightest. It's serviceable, but it's not serviceable enough for what I need to do in the future for a couple of projects that I have coming up. And I don't want to cut all of that on the table saw, so about that. The one thing that sucks on it, or doesn't suck, is the dust collection. So, dust collection port from Shop Nation, right here. I just bought his little SVG and I 3D printed it because I have a 3D printer. Why would I wait for shipping? So it's pretty simple too. So I'm gonna set that up on there. Just a little higher. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. So yeah, this is supposed to improve it dramatically as far as dust collection goes. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. I have a shop vac right down here and a Cyclone that pull from that machine. It's set up separately from the actual dust collection because you're making fast cuts. Like, you're not just going to turn it on and like if I need to make one cut, I'm not turning on the whole dust collection just for that one cut. I have a switch box that turns on the vacuum whenever I turn on the saw. So, and it has like a delay, so it'll run a little bit past that and then shut off. That's the way to do it on a miter station, in my opinion. Like, it's way easier. You're not sitting there making a ton of cuts, and if you are, it's still gonna turn on and off like the way you need it to. So, why not? You know. Let's see. In-grain or edge grain cutting boards. I like edge grain because it's easy. They look good. I think you see more of the figure of the wood. In-grain's more like the color and contrast, I guess. But also in-grain just is a pain in the butt. Like, in-grain cutting boards just take a long time. The more controversial thing is whether or not you should make them. Do we make cutting boards or do we not make cutting boards? I vote not, because there's a lot of people that make cutting boards. I don't want to be one of them. That's all I got to say about that. I'm totally joking, by the way. I would totally make a cutting board for like a family member or something like that, or like as a thank you gift. Like I said in one of my videos, like the short that's like how to make money making cutting board, or yeah, how to make money making cutting boards. You don't. You factor in the time and everything that you do for that. Like, even if you batch them out, yeah, it might, like, you might make some money, but like you're not solely making enough to make rent. At least not here in DFW. You're definitely not. But as thank you gifts, as leads, like if someone asks you to make one, I'm not going to turn away one unless they're like, oh, I need you to make 100. I'm going to be like, no, you don't need me to make them. You need someone else. Sassy Fried. Syntec couplers. Syntec couplers? What is the Syntec couplers? That's, those are like the flexible ones, right? I don't know. Let me know, because I don't know. It's a good saw, though. Like, honestly, there's a lot of things. I've just been playing with it a little bit since I got it today. But there's a lot of things that I like about it more already than the Bosch that I had. The blade cuts down into the groove better, or deeper, rather, and it goes back further. So, like, on the Bosch, I have a blade right here. So, like, the Bosch, like, if your fence is here, the Bosch comes to, like, right there. So, like, and it's like that. But, like, it just barely comes down, and it just barely hits back. So, like, if you're a little, like, lax with it, and you don't go all the way back, you leave a little nubbin back there. I think just kind of, it's annoying. On this Hercules, it comes down deeper, and it goes back deeper, sorry, like this. So like your fence, I don't know. Y'all get the idea? It goes like this instead of just like barely right here. So I like that. It makes like trenching too. Like if you're just trying to make like a dado or something on this real quick, you can do that a lot easier with that. I did that on the Bosch and I had to make like a jig thing that kind of set it back further. And it was a pain. I wouldn't recommend it as a first choice, but it does work. This seems like it'll probably work better for that, but it's still kind of painful. I saw something. Okay, vac couplers for the hoses. Gotcha. Sweet. What's our, like, so this week, hopefully I will have my other workbench finished. I'm going to do, we'll change like kind of views here. It's the mobile tour. How y'all doing? Hanging in there? Doing good? Okay, cool. I didn't think this through because I didn't bring my chair. There. Aha! Aha! Okay. Alright. So I built this bench, right? And it's 4 foot by 4 foot. It's my outfeed table for the table saw. Life changer. Actual like outfeed table, life changer. Like I didn't have one for ever since I started, like 2019 till now, or 6 months ago or whatever, whenever I built this. Yeah, and that was sorry, I was on a piece of wood there. All right, and yeah, that's a game changer because you can just run your pieces off. You can just push them off, and like you don't have to worry about that, right? Well, my master plan, if you want to call it that, is I have another bench that I'm making that's going to go even further past this. And it's going to be 8 foot long by 4 foot wide. And so like if I want to, one, I can assemble on it. It's going to have work holding, so like MFT, like dog holes on top. And I'm also going to put a bench vise on one end of it. But I want it to be stout, but I don't want it to be like a traditional like Rubo or like a, you know, I want it to be different, like more than what you see out there, I guess, or just unique. But like I'm not trying to break the bank on this thing. Like we're making it so we can make projects, right? But it's gonna be the same height as this. I milled up all the wood for the basic frame of it. I still have some more that I have to do. And then I made these big chunker legs, laminated a couple pieces that I had left over from a other project. And this right here is definitely like the way to go with the threaded feet on the bottom because like our concrete in here is not super level. So allowing that adjustability is really crucial. I'm also putting those like clip-on, push-down casters so I can wheel it around and move it if I need to. But everything else in my shop has casters, and I don't like that I don't have the adjustability of height if they're not like straight, like bang on with each other. And I also like most of the time you don't need your casters to move. Like you need them to lock in place. So 90% of mine are locked in place. So I feel like the feet and the, you know, detachable casters, it's gonna work out really well for me. That's how this one is supposed to be. I haven't finished it. So like down here, that space, there's gonna be some cabinetry, some drawers, and all just to hold like jigs and saw blades and all that stuff from the table saw. And it's right now that stuff, it doesn't have a home in my shop. Like it just kind of moves around. And like whenever I was part-time doing this, it didn't make that much of a difference because I wasn't out here that much. But now, like, being out here every day, like, it's annoying to either not find something or, like, have a bunch of crap in your way. So, yeah. Do any of y'all have... Okay, so two... It's okay, we're okay. Two tools that I'm looking at right now is a Lamello Zeta P2 and a Craig Foreman. Two totally different ends of the spectrum, right? Do any of y'all have those two tools, one or the other or both? Because I'm really interested to see. I think the Lamello is going to work out really well for some cabinetry stuff that I have planned. But that sucker is like, that's a lot of money. It's like $2,000 for like a startup set of the clamps, little clip clamps things, and the tool. And yeah, that's a big bite out of the budget. The Craig Foreman, I'm just curious because I wonder if it's faster than like the actual jig. So right now I'm just using that old jig, and I drilled another hole in it the other day. It didn't go in my jig. Okay. So this is like the Craig K4, right? I've drilled through it twice now because I'll set the depth for my drill bit, and then you have to manually set your depth of the height at the same time. Like, and if you don't set this, but you set your drill bit, you're totally drilling through that base. I don't think it really affects much, but it makes you mad whenever you do it. So, thinking about that. What do y'all think? Yeah, no? Is this thing on? Alright, we're going back to my seat. Did I show this? I don't think I showed this. This is my plywood storage box thing. And then I also have short scraps next to it and all these cubbies. As you can see, I have a hoarding problem of wood. But that thing's really nice because you can thumb through your plywood. Like if you need like a certain sheet or something like that, you can always just grab it right out of there. So that's pretty cool. What's everyone else working on? What do y'all got projects-wise going on? If I just sit here, I'll just keep talking about things I'm doing. And those things are sometimes kind of lame. Every tool in your shop. I didn't check these Syntec things out. I use coupler-wise for vacuums and all, which now I'm using the dust collection with the flex hose and hose clamps and all. But for small tools, I gotta think about what I use. Most everything fits my vac hose, like my shop vac hose. That hose, let's look at this. That one. Most everything fits that. And the things that don't are usually like Festool stuff, and I'll just hooks in here. So I'm trying to think if I have anything else that doesn't. I know it was a big problem whenever I first started. I had like a Harbor Freight sander. It's like the Bauer. That thing sucked. It like would rattle your hand to death. My hands still hurt just thinking about it. But that thing had a port on it, and I was like, oh, well, surely it's a standard size. I went down to the home, like I think it was Lowe's, and they have like a master kit for like different sizes and all. None of them fit it, like none of them at all. So I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. Like, how ridiculous is this? And then I found like Rockler for the first time. That was whenever I was like, what's this store? Woodworking for, like, surely this isn't real. Like, it's not really down the street. And I went there and I was like, oh, these are big boy tools. And I bought their, what was it? It's like a heavy hose. It had to have been a metal hose, but it was like the flex hose and it had the little couplers and all. They've gotten way better since then. But even then it was like, it was the answer to my problems because it totally, like, it had the rubber end on it and it just went over the port. So I had someone ask about this whenever I was showing one of my videos. This is a clear dead blow hammer. It's also a baby rattle. I built this out of these Lexan. I don't think they're Lexan. I don't know what they are, but they're acrylic. That's what it was. These are just acrylic blocks. I epoxied them onto the wood, both sides, and the ends are also epoxied. So what I did is I epoxied this on before I filled it, and then I filled it with the BBs. And then I epoxied the top and I let it sit upright like this until it cured. And then I flipped it over and I did the same thing on the other side. And it works decent. I want to make it again, but I want to do, because I was doing something with this and I can't remember what I was doing, but one of the ends popped off and it put BBs everywhere. I still find BBs sometimes in the shop. And I fixed it, and it seems to work better now. But what I want to do is put bolts, like long bolts, from the face into here. And that'll do two things. Like, it'll clamp it and hold it better. But it's also, like, I could change out the faces and put, like, a leather face if I wanted to. Or a plastic face, or whatever I wanted to put there. Or if this gets worn out or beat up, I can take it off and put on a new one. And they'll still have like that elegance of like being see-through and all. That's a thought. I don't know if I'll ever get to doing that because it's like everything. You either have time or money. You never have both, right? But that's the story of that. These are better than the Rockler. These are awesome as well. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Okay. So I think they're on like Amazon too, right? The Syntax? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen them there whenever I was looking before. Because it's like its own like hose and like coupler system, right? So, I also need y'all's input on the finded joints. So, we're not going anywhere or anything, but here, I'll be right back. They're becoming hard to store. So I like keeping them. I think I'm going to keep them. But I need to figure out a better way to keep them. Because right now they're just kind of around the shop. And like, I don't want to damage them. I want to kind of have them on display maybe somewhere in the back. Or put up like a shelf maybe. But They're they're adding up quick. I think there's 28 of them, because one of the videos was a compilation video. I guess 27 actually. It's 2 of them were. This one was cool. I liked that one. It was fun to make too. It just like clicked together. It's pretty nice. This one was alright too. Put a piece of purple heart inside of pine. I like doing the dumb woods like together. Let's see. Love the book. Financial Friday. Yeah. You mean this book? So I got into Find a Joint Friday because I was like, I want to do something that's a series, and I like doing joinery. I wanted to get better at it. And I was like, at the very least, I feel like I can get into the shop once a week and I can make a joint. Because at the time, whenever I was doing it, I was still doing it part-time. And it was hard to get into the shop sometimes. And it was also hard to like make content or make a video about whatever I was doing. Because I wasn't in the shop that much at the time. And so I had some bigger projects going, but like there's only so much you can post about like one big project before people are just like next, you know. So I was like, I should look and see if anyone has any good books and if they have like good illustrations in them and good explanations and everything. So got on Amazon because we all know that's where everyone shops. And I saw this book. I think there was one other book, but I saw the front of this and I was like, oh, those are good photos. And then I started looking through like the previews and everything, and like the photos and everything are pretty good in here. Like everything looks pretty good. I don't know the author. I didn't even read that far as like if he's still around or what he does, if he does anything still or what. I tried searching for him once on Instagram, but that was about it. I didn't really see anything. But I mean, the photos and everything are pretty good in here. I really like I like the more in-depth stuff on here, but it's kind of hard to go really in-depth on a joint the way that I do the video, the shorts, and like show you everything. That's kind of where the long form videos started. So I started doing the long forms in addition to like the shorts, because it's easier to explain whenever I'm not constricted by 60 seconds, which YouTube's like lifted that now. It's 3 minutes. Instagram's 90 seconds, I think, still. I'm sure theirs is going to go up soon too, but so it's just easier to do those deep dives. And right now I'm just calling them deep dives, and the titles aren't really Find a Joint Friday because, you know, you don't have to watch the whole series to get an idea on like what I'm doing. And they've done pretty okay, I guess. I like the book. I think it's definitely helped me, like joint wise, kind of like think outside the box. For the outfeed table for the table saw, there's no hardware on it. Everything is just joints. It's just joinery. Instead of using screws and stuff, I used like dowel joints. And on the bottom, I used, like the bottom apron is dovetails, just like one big dovetail that's, you know, mortised into the leg. And it was pretty fun. It's more fun than like just screwing it together or just using dominoes or whatever. I'm totally using dominoes on this other one because, I mean, it's, I got time. I got to do stuff. I keep telling people like, do you want to make content about your shop, or do you want to make furniture and cabinets? And like, I would rather make furniture and cabinets, built-ins and you know, DIY stuff and all that. I like outfitting the shop. It's fun to think about unique ways to store stuff and all. And those videos always do well, but I don't want that to be like my whole identity, if that makes sense. Um, what else was I gonna say? I have some big cabinet job. Well, they're not big. They're like cabinet jobs. They're fairly small. It's like an island and some partial cabinets, um, a built-in like across a wall type of deal for entertainment center thing. And I think it'll be pretty cool. I designed it all, and I think it's gonna look pretty good. So that's gonna be what I have going on over the next 2 months, probably working on that. I always feel like I'm slow on stuff, like whenever I'm making it. But I mean, whatever, right? Like, you can only move as fast as you want to move, I guess. I find if I just go faster, I end up making mistakes anyway, and then we're back at square one. Pricing things has changed a lot now that I'm like full time doing this. I feel like I realized how like off I was on pricing before. I'm sure everyone feels that, and especially like whenever you're done with a project, you're always like, man, I don't know if that was worth it. The curved doors that I just finished, those were definitely one of those where it's like it most certainly wasn't worth it. I should have charged double probably of what I actually charged, but that was 100% me. It wasn't like someone was like trying to rake me over the coals. I just priced it wrong. What do you do? Like, I would much rather accept that on myself as long as I can like take that, right? And like I can bear that extra excess. Than be like, oh, I'm sorry, I screwed up, but now you need to pay me more. And it's like you're already halfway through the project. You already bought materials and everything. Like, they have no obligation to pay you more, you know? Like, that taints the whole thing too, in my opinion. Because then they're like, well, I feel like I had to pay for this twice, you know? Like, because you told me one thing and then it ended up being another. And I just really hate operating that way too. So it's always rough. But, all right. Couple more minutes. Any questions, concerns? Sorry, I'm putting my thumb in front of the freaking thing. But yeah, that's fine to join Friday. That's how it came up. That's how I still do it. I don't have any plans of stopping it. I don't know. At some point, I'm going to have to, right? Like, at some point, I'm going to finish the book. I'm already losing track of which ones I did and didn't do. I'm saving some of them for, like, some other stuff. Like, there's a biscuit joint on here. I don't have a biscuit joiner, and I have no desire to get one. So I'm probably not going to do that joint anytime soon. Unless maybe there's a different way to do it. I don't know. I might look into that. I just really don't want to buy a biscuit joiner just for a video. You like my boss dog hat? She's real nice. That's a whole story in itself too. Oh, I was gonna say, let's see, who else on here? So I was talking about Dude Perfect last week, and I said I was gonna give that story or whatever next time. So I'll do that real quick, I guess. So like, whenever I don't know, 8-10 years ago, I guess, I worked at an archery shop. And I don't know if anyone is familiar with like Dude Perfect and their like mentality or extracurriculars, I guess. They like to hunt. Most all of them, especially Tyler Tony. And so he comes in there one day, Tyler, and I'm standing behind the counter and I'm like, I just watched that video. Like, sure, that's not that dude. I was like, I thought they were in like College Station. And then I looked on my phone and I was looking at it. It's like they're stationed up here in North Texas, I guess now. And at that time, and I was like, "Are you on YouTube?" And he was like, "Or no," I was like, "You look familiar." He's like, "Do you watch YouTube?" I was like, "That's what it is." I was like, "You're Tyler, right?" I was like, "You're from Dude Perfect." And he's like, "Yeah." So I fit up his bow and everything, and at the time I was in charge of like the social media for the bow shop. It was a different time though, it was a long time ago. Social media's changed so much since then. But so I worked out a deal with him and with the other guys. We fit them up all with bows and archery equipment, and we were doing like a opening of an event center down the not down the street, but like right next door to where we were. And we wanted to bring a bunch of kids in there because like there was a lot of like we did archery tag, which is like these foam arrow things that you shoot, and events and birthday parties and all this other stuff that we did there. And we were like, hey, what about you guys coming over here and doing like a meet and greet and everything here? And they're like, oh, okay, sure. So I ended up coordinating all of that with them, and we had absolutely no idea how many people were going to show up. Literally thousands of kids showed up for this event, and like their line to get signatures from Dude Perfect looped around the building, and I was just like, it's like, holy crap, like this is way bigger than anything I was expecting. And the guys ended up playing archery tag with all the kids and everything. It was a really cool day. I still have Tyler's number, but I haven't talked to him in a long time. And they're good people though. Like they're really cool dudes. So like the way that they kind of act on TV, like they're pretty high energy, right? But like in person, they're more mild, I guess. Am I thinking about upgrading my table saw? Are you good with that one? The Delta I have works okay. Do I want to upgrade? Yes. Will I upgrade anytime in the near future? Probably not, unless someone sends me one, because I'm not gonna buy one. This one will actually, like, out of all the tools in my shop, that's the only thing that really doesn't ever really give me issues. Knock on wood. I knocked too hard, it fell. So like I would rather spend that money elsewhere than upgrade my table saw, because it cuts everything I need to. It runs true, doesn't burn the wood. It has a nice cast iron top to it. There's really not a whole lot of anything that I would really ask more of it. I upgraded this because the last one that I upgraded from sucked, and the one before that wasn't a sliding miter saw, and I really wanted the sliding portion. So that's why I decided to spend the money on that, and plus this one was $300, not a couple $1,000s. So that's the table saw I have right now. It's the Delta 3060 whatever. I used to know what it was called. I don't anymore. I attached this cheap $100 Cobalt miters, or not miter, router table to it, and it does fine. Like both of these things do fine for what I need them for. I would definitely love to have an upgraded router table, but again, I don't use the router table all that often. That thing's a deal. Honestly, like if you're just looking for a router table, $100, and it comes with the router, and it comes with the router bases and everything. So like, you can't really buy a router for $100 that's that size and that horsepower now. I don't know, you might be able to now, but still, it's like, it comes with the table. That's like crazy, pretty good deal. Just line, I love it. From the sides of my shop, just adjust the fence a little more often. What do you have? Like, do you have the same table saw, Michael? Because I think I've adjusted the fence on this once. And that was because I think I had like I had a bad kickback or something, and I had to adjust it. That was it. Okay, so the same one. So, man, like I honestly haven't had any issues with adjusting it. The only thing that I am gonna do is the fence faces. I'm gonna change it out for a T-track face on it. And I think that that's gonna be a nice upgrade, because then I can put those like Jessam hold down wheels on there. I have it in my cart on Amazon, but I still haven't pulled the trigger on it because I just bought this saw. So keep up the good. Oh, thanks, Taylor. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. Sometimes it's really helpful to hear that because like sometimes you can be in a bubble, especially like this last week I was in the shop and I was just milling wood and I was like, what am I doing? Like, does this make sense? I know it does, like because I see like money coming in, money coming out. It's like, okay, like it makes sense for now. But sometimes you can be in the shop by yourself and you can be like, man, it's kind of, what am I doing? You know, it's kind of weird. People even like this? You know, I'm just over here doing stupid stuff, man. I don't even think they like it. But I appreciate that. 3 times a year. Maybe I don't check mine enough. Maybe it's off. Don't get the Banggood stock guides. Oh yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. I'm definitely gonna do the Jessam wheels on there, I think eventually. Maybe next month. Maybe I'll do that next month. And then I definitely I'm gonna do the extruded aluminum fence. I'm gonna do the woodpeckers one because everything. So there's sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. So there's a group on Facebook specifically for these table saws. And there's a lot of people on there that make upgrades to them and customizations and troubleshooting and all that. I definitely recommend getting up on those forums because, or the groups, I guess, on Facebook. We used to have forums, now we have groups on Facebook. Definitely recommend getting on there because they have a lot of help on there. There's a lot of people that are doing upgrades, that are doing dust collection upgrades, that are helping you through troubleshooting if you're having an issue with it. If you don't know how to adjust something, they'll show you. So definitely check that out. They might be able to kind of point you in the right direction on that fence deal. But what I saw on the forum is one guy did like an experiment between all the different extruded aluminum fencing upgrades that you could do, and the woodpeckers was the only one that like you didn't have to drill new holes for. And I'm sure it's a good quality thing because it's woodpeckers, I would think. And they're not expensive. The full 36-inch extruded aluminum was it's like $50 or $60. So it's cheaper than some of the others. Like there's one from, I don't remember the brand, but it was like $150 for the fence, just the aluminum thing. And I was like, this is stupid. I'm not buying. Like that's more than the fence itself. It's crazy. Yeah, I saw something. Where'd it go? Oh. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing. Appreciate you guys hanging in there, checking this out. We're gonna do these lives every single week. I think Sundays at 8:30 is working out okay for us, but if it works better at a different time I don't know. Let me know down below, and if enough people say a certain time, maybe we'll change it. But it's pretty good. Helps us out because it gives us more time for watch hours, and then also, you know, I like talking with people. I like talking with you guys because there's stuff that comes up that like probably wouldn't come up if I just posted videos. So I appreciate you guys coming on and you know, sharing your thoughts, sharing your good words and everything as well. I appreciate that. Definitely gets me through the week, seeing the comments, good or bad, on our videos. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. I got some longer videos, build videos that are in the process of getting edited right now, and those should hopefully be bangers. I hope. We'll see. It's on this dust collection setup here, this workbench over here, this workbench here, a lot of shop stuff. So keep an eye out for that stuff. Hopefully we'll have those ready and up soon. In the meantime, guys, appreciate it. Be sure to leave a comment and a like on all our videos. I appreciate that too. Share them with your friends. Share them with your enemies. I mean, you know, maybe y'all can bridge your gaps with these videos. So, all right. Well, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.